Hello everyone and welcome to episode 13 here of the TEW9 Dragon Gate Safe here on the channel. It has been a long time, far longer than we wanted it to be, since we last were in Dragon Gate, as last week I had about half the card booked and got half the tour booked. I just was getting a real bad writer's block, or I guess booker's block in this case. I just could not really pinpoint what I wanted to do, and eventually when you start thinking like that and you're at a roadblock, sometimes it's just nice to bring in some talent, and that's what we've done for this tour. We're bringing in the Briscoes, we're bringing in Jack Evans and Roddy to kind of help, again, slowly add in Generation Next. I think Gen Next will start being a full-time thing probably during the Triangle Gate tournament. I feel like that's a great way for them to debut, but we've had Shelly, now we're going to have Jack and Roddy for a tour or two. Then we'll probably have them all together, maybe that in that October show that's before the actual as far as the Triangle Gate, the Gate, or actually the Gate of Sanctuary, that'd be September, yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the plan, at least. For this episode, though, we are going to just basically run the 6 days of, obviously, the Adventure Gate Tour, then the Everyday Pro Wrestling Tour, date 50, 60, and the Premium Show number 3. Basically, we're just going to stop at the Gate of Adventure, and that way the Gate of Sanctuary isn't just the one show. It could be the rest of these. So, basically, with that being said, of course, our main event, we already talked about that. Now, it's been 2 weeks, but the main event, champion versus champion, the new Open the Brave Gate champion, Masato Yoshino, taking on the Dream Gate champion in Masaki Machizuki. As far as for that main event, that's obviously massive. For the rest of the card, we have a Triangle Gate title matchup as well. Do Fixer taking on Blood Generation, as of course the first champs, old Do Fixer, getting a rematch here. As far as obviously that title match, was that, I'm trying to remember, is that March? Or was that later than that? Top of my head, I'm not April, that's right. Okay, so it's around that time. I was like, it's either March or April, and yeah, it was April. Of course, with Saito, Horiguchi, and Ibushi, which, of course, again, to talk about them, technically the first actual champions were with Dragon Kid, but of course he got injured. This is a hell of a show, though. I think that main and the co-main, a lot of talent involved in some great stuff. Now, Naruki doing Hayato Junior Fujita's got a big time matchup against the Ninja Runners. That probably is a little too high on the card, but we'll see. Florida Express versus Aigan Lisu in a trios match. In that one, that will be, of course, the Florida Brothers with Johnson, Florida. Actually, we might have. Now I'm thinking about it, I think we used Kinsuke against Aigan Lisu of Shuji Kondo, Hiro, and Kudo. Actually, let's just bring that. I don't think I'll actually show it. Never mind. Because I think we have it. But yeah, it won't tell us because I don't want to spoil who wins that. But I'm pretty sure Kinsuke's not involved. Actually, a good way of showing that. We'll just see if he's been booked. They still work around. So yeah, he's not. I figured so. But the that's still going to be a big matchup, though, as far as for Aigan Lisu and Florida Express. Very much the dastardly Aigan Lisu against the fun-loving Florida Express team that pulls off some dirty tricks on their opponents. It's a easy story to tell, really, there. Then the Briscoes. They're going to take on Milano, Collection, AT, and Tai Chi. Oh, man. Do I love what we're going to do with Tai Chi here. So Tai Chi, basically his gimmick is take Zoolander and what Ben Stiller did as that character. Put him in a role where he thinks, maybe not even thinks, he's under the delusion that he's like in a music video and all eyes are on him, so he's moving in a way that's very like camera focused and very much like always giving face, always in that kind of scene of always on and presenting himself and acting like he's got all eyes on him, right? And with that kind of model-esque arrogance and gravitas. But we're fusing that with European house music in that we're going to use Call on Me, the obviously sample house music song that was done by Eric Perdez, but then I think he actually ended up. I saw a video. That's actually a fascinating video about that on YouTube about how basically Thomas from Daft Punk started that song, like was building it, and then somebody from Eric's music label took the sample and ended up making it, stealing it basically, and forcing Eric to force himself into putting that track out as him. That's which then he ended up resenting and didn't play it for like 20 years till like literally a couple months ago. But of course that used the Steve Winwood Valerie sample, and just the idea of going into Call on Me, Tai Chi, and having this kind of anthem, because eventually we want to use like an actual cover of that itself, but we're going to just use the actual song. Even though around this point, 2004, that song is fucking everywhere. But not in Japan, though. It did not chart, I don't think. At least it didn't chart very high in Japan. Because I just don't know if they have like a big, like, house music kind of scene as far as music goes. But I just want the people getting up and getting after it. And eventually, I think for some of the bigger shows, taking the idea of maybe having like kind of fitness girls beside him doing the whole dance and shit with him, that would be kind of fun. But also we could just use the Collection of Perfection, which is going to be official. It will basically start pretty much after his debut. Basically it's going to be Milano, Yujiro, Tai Chi, and BB Hawk. I feel like that four kind of work well together as far as characters and whatnot. BB Hawk's trying to kind of find himself. He's got the looks of a Model S person, but he's trying to take himself seriously, so that kind of inner struggle, or even outer struggle, if we could show it at least, of what he's trying to do. And obviously Yujiro trying to become what Milano is, and that trickle-down effect. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see what Tai Chi can do here in Dragon Gate, even though his style, I wouldn't say doesn't necessarily fit. He's like, I always kind of felt like he's like a better version of like Magnum Tokyo in a lot of ways. How he moved, how he worked. But we'll see. We'll see how he does. As far as obviously still very early on in his career, but he's going to be a great little asset. And for the Briscoes, though, as far as obviously they're the team of the decade around this time. They're still kind of, well, actually around this time in 2005, they're actually taking that kind of sabbatical of when they just did not really work until they actually wrestled each other in that like Delaware like local indie show that was in a parking lot. It's obviously with them, they're fantastic. They just are kind of in the growing stage of their career right now, so it's going to be a lot of fun to use them. Their style actually does work well in Dragon Gate around this time, with the kind of springboard Doomsday device that they were doing at the time, and the fast-paced action that they were doing at that time very much fit the mold. And of course, for Jack Evans and Roddy Strong, they would obviously work actually in Dragon Gate, and a great little team. They're taking on Kagetora and Akira Tozawa. We're kind of laying the foundation to eventually have Tozawa join Blood Generation, because eventually I want Shingo Takagi to just be Shingo in all caps, and then have Tozawa in all caps. Basically, it's that type of, and eventually maybe even rename the Blood Generation the Cap Breakers, just to kind of, a little tongue-in-cheek, but to kind of, and also we actually get rid of Don Fuji and kind of transition him elsewhere. But that's just the plan. It's kind of early plans, working on that. I believe Kagetora and Tozawa, though, do not have great chemistry, though, so that's going to probably be not a great little matchup in the opening, but I think we'll be able to do just fine. After that, of course, money-wise, we lost about $70,000 last month, which is not great, but we also didn't run like a major show, so it kind of comes with the territory. As I was going to look for the chemistry to see Yeah, let's, yep, there it is. Yeah, poor commissioning with Tozawa, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. But, yeah, as far as for day one, we're ready to go. We're also going to have, because again, with the Gate of Adventure, we'll bring in Ebi-san back, even though he's god-awful. It breaks my heart, but he'll be coming in. Billy Kid, of course, with his quickest gun in the East gimmick, he'll be making his debut on this actual show, on the day one Gate of Adventure show. So that's going to be nice. Yeah, Jay's here and Jack's here, but Mark and Roddy aren't here yet, so that's been kind of awkward to wait for, but once they get here, they'll be just fine. A fucking random nitro. Yeah, we don't want to give anybody the night off, actually. So let's see where we're going to run this first show, because, yeah, we just obviously ran the festival in the Grand Dome, in the Daigo Grand Dome. Yeah, we'll probably just run there again. At least the economy is starting to rise a little bit, but the industry is starting to fall now, so that's just fucking great. Let's cap it at about 600. That way, we'll go 650. Oh, the Keimoka Station Kushimoto Gymnasium's got 650. Oh, here we go. This is perfect. The Nara Medical University Gym. $500. And we'll gladly take that. And basic safety training drills, which, yeah, Jay and Jack Evans are being incorporated into those. That's great. Just what we need. Yeah, so the quickest gun in the East, he wants a duel. And he's going to take on Stalker Ichikawa. And I like the idea of Ichikawa, again, trying to use that, the scythe as like an actual weapon and throwing it at him. And Billy Kid misses it. So, we were talking about his finish in the previous episode, how it was going to be maybe with Saiku Ni. We're going to go with the sick kick, though, which is funny now since we're bringing in Roddy, but Roddy didn't use the sick kick at this time. And he's basically going to knock out Ichikawa. And the idea of the quickest gun in the East is basically Stalker Ichikawa starts off the show just kind of rambling on about how he's tired of all this losing. He's making a stand now. He's challenging anybody in the back. That this new, as far as the Gate of Adventure, it's an adventurous time. And he knows that he's up to beat anybody back there, which again leads to somebody coming out and just kicking the shit out of him. The running gag of that. So, as far as the next matchup, I mean, there's some good matches on this card. But Ninja Runners, Shogo and Shuji Kondo, as Ishimori's going to beat Shogo Takagi. It's going to be about 10 minutes. Then Doi and Hayato Jr. Fujita against Don Fuji and Kagetora, which again is a good little matchup. Don Fuji's going to beat him. And beat him, I mean Hayato Jr. Fujita, obviously. And I think we're going to have a Milano. Actually, this probably should be a little lower. Milano and BB Hulk against Stu Fixer. They already have their picture, but they're not actually in the stable yet. So it was easier to just go ahead and add them already, type of thing. But Milano's going to get the win, though. He's going to beat Yuki Tanasaki. Yeah, we'll put that there. And our main event, Shimon Shingo versus Saito and Jinke Horiguchi. Great little main event. Horiguchi's going to get the win. He's going to beat Shingo, which is a tough break. I like the idea of him countering the pumping bomber into a backslide. I feel like it's a nice little finish. Damn. We must have not edited any of the fucking time. Because there's just no way that's only... Yeah, I'm about to say, it's got to be an hour. An hour 30. There we go. So we would still be penalized. So make it an extra minute. Get it 3. But yeah, Billy Kid again, he's coming out to that fucking little western little as we talked about. I don't know why I'm blanking on the name of that song, but that's alright. It's no big deal. But yeah, as far as I think we're good to go. We got everything set up. We should be able to have a pretty decent little show. Yeah, oh well, we forgot to take off Shima as the agent, but yeah, Stalker Ichikawa does well here. Actually, Billy Kid was awful in his little entrance. You know, you feeling lucky, punk type of promo there. As far as that's all he would say. We keep it short, and even then, looks like he butchered it. Yeah, Shima also was terrible with putting the match together. Oh damn, he won with La Espalda, which it definitely would not have been the case, but that's all right. I just want to make sure Shima's not agenting any of these other matches. Yeah, Okato. Yeah, of course he was. Yeah, Kinsuke. Well, I guess we could save. Well, Kinsuke's already here, so yeah, it will be good. Yeah, he can agent that match as well. All right. 46 for the Collection of Perfection. Will eventually be the Collection of Perfection. Milano and BB Hulk taking on Kotobushi and Yuki Tanasaki, which Kotobushi, again, best guy in the match. Yujiro doing good work at ringside. Milano gets the win with the AT lock over Tanasaki as well. 46 for Taiji Shimori in Yoshitone versus Shuji Kondo and Shoko Takagi. Could have went either way here. Could have went either way. Literally perfect down the board for him, right down evenly. Hurricane Rana, though, for Taiji Shimori getting the win there. And a 51 for M2K and Don Fuji and Kagetora, as Fuji and Kagetora, of course, get the win. Yeah, Don Fuji, he was really off his game, but obviously with great chemistry. Naruki Doi's injury still holding him down a little bit, so this could have been even better, obviously, without that injury. But Nodogawa elbow from Don Fuji on the Heihato Jr. Fujita gets the win for them. And Blood Generation, they'll lose the next matchup, though, as they lose to Saito and Horiguchi. So Horiguchi with the beach break over Shingo. And yeah, 62s for both Shima and Saito. 53 for Horiguchi. And Shingo with a 36, which is why he took that loss. Not a bad little tour show, actually. It progressed throughout the night. Best, main event was in the 60s. You can't really beat that for a tour show. And we're just getting all the money back from the ticket sales. There we go. Not too bad there. It's on to day 2. We go of the tour. It's literally the very next day. There's actually another team I forgot we brought in. We're going to bring in the SATs, yeah, as far as Jose and Joel Maximo. So that's another fucking team to bring in. And I love the SATs. Even though I've always hated that name, the Spanish Announce Team, I always thought they should have just been the Spanish Assault Team. But it is what it is. But they are now booked tonight. I just wanted to talk about them since they are now signed, because I'm sure we'll be seeing them when they're here for the pre-show safety and the training stuff for earlier on the show. So we're going to a junior high school now, the Kawachi Junior High School, which we usually always go to. Takeru Mori wants to hang out. Fucking sure, bud. Oh yeah, 11 people showed up. There's so many people now they can't even name them all. That's fun. Man, Takeru Mori's hanging out backstage. Why the fuck not? Even though you really don't fit our style, you're still the goddamn man. So Shingo and BB Hulk, that's going to open up the show. This is going to give Shingo a win to kind of bounce back after losing in our previous day. Bushi and Yuki Tanasaki, they're going to take on Shuji Kondo and Shogo, which, again, they're going to bounce back and get a win here. So there is that. And then the Florida Express, or I guess the Florida Brothers in this case, they're taking on Hiro and Kudo. Yeah, we did have Hiro get the win here, but I think it's tough because I kind of want to see. Actually, yeah, we'll have Hiro win, but it's because Iwasa gets attacked by Shogo Takagi. He's gonna cost them the win and basically get the chair out of his hands. And then when he turns around, Hiro rolls him up, 1, 2, 3. Gets out of there. As Horiguchi and Tozawa also is going to be lower on the card. I just now saw that. But yeah, Horiguchi obviously is going to beat Akira Tozawa. So, a couple of singles matches early on the card. And then our main event, Blood Generation M2K. Hell of a little match here. It's a trios match. Yoshino's going to get the win. I kind of want to have him beat Doi, to be honest. I know he just beat him for the belt, but why not? Let's keep some more momentum going. Give him a win. And we'll have a TV spot. We'll TV promo from Blood Generation. Basically like a highlight package with also kind of cutting a promo over top of it with Shima. We'll go subject to video. Oh yeah, let's video. Yeah, I guess Sears is fine, but yeah, Shima, Doi, or not Doi, Yoshino. That'll probably be it as far as who's talking over. But then, yeah, we'll have Machizuki and Doi actually be involved in it, since they're going to be highlighted. Oh, gotta be pre-taped. Doi. Here we go. Yeah, we'll put the TV promo kind of there in the middle. And we'll have a post-show promo. Or we'll go post-match promo. From the champ. It's going to be, obviously, Machizuki after his team lost and basically saying, you know, he's beaten the best that Blood Generation has had to offer in the past, and he is not, you know, he knows that Yoshino is motivated right now. He's looking to prove a point in this new attitude, but he knows he's just the still same, you know, young kid that was, as far as goofing around with Milano and Yujiro. He's trying to poke holes in the theory that he kind of belongs in Blood Generation a little bit. Basically just playing some mind games on him. As far as Yoshino, be off screen. Just a 2-minute promo, nothing crazy. Try to dial them in, you know, as far as to a lot of it. Sometimes you just gotta psych your opponent out. As far as in the big time matches, yeah, Kudo's still working with his strained rotator cuff. Doi still has his bruised eye socket. Been hard out here, but Horiguchi though beats Tozawa to start off the match, or to start off the show rather, with a beach break. And get the show off to a strong start. Damn, yeah, Shima again was the agent for this, but the last falconry from Shingo over BB Hulk, which kind of crazy that they did the same exact rating. As far as, well, also, I want to make sure Shima's not agenting any of the other matches tonight. It's not perfect. See if he's agenting this angle. Nope, he's not either. I mean, he could agent the promo, but actually, yeah, why not? We gotta get that experience up anyways. So yeah, the video package, again, just kind of highlighting what's been going on with Yoshino and him beating Doi and now, you know, challenging for the belt. So again, trying to keep the casual viewer of Dragon Gate involved and in tune with what's going on. But I say, you know, it wasn't skipping. I got Lisu beating Do Fixer here as Shuji Kano pinning Kota Ibushi with the King Kong Lariat. Ibushi, yeah, the best guy in the match. Again, crazy how well he's doing. Yeah, then following up with the injury of Kudo, having a 28 because of that is just nuts. But yeah, Shogo coming in, getting the chair out of Iwasa's hands, and Hero capitalizing with a roll-up. Gets him 1, 2, 3. And gave the crowd a breather. And then we got him back for the main the main event. I was about to say, but yeah, the last thing's the promo. That's why it's saying next segment. But yeah, good little main event. Again, kind of crazy. 18-year-old Hayata Jr. Fujita's still improving in a big way. He's getting a lot of big opportunities. Even though we've seen him lose a lot for M2K, he's still getting some wins along the way. And he's slowly getting better. But Doi losing here to Yoshino, to the Soul, Nascente. Tough break. But Blood Generation, such a great trio. Especially that trio. I mean, that's just an absolute stacked fucking team. And they're looking to complete the trifecta, really. You know, they have the Triangle Gate belts. Yoshino's got the Brave Gate. And now he's looking for the Dream Gate to have them all. And goddamn, was Machizuki brutal with that promo. So that kind of killed that. Yeah, the angle's pretty much stunk. But the main event, though, again, almost a 60. If it would have been a 60, it'd have been nice, but again, we're just getting ticket sale revenue back. It's Flair. Looks like I'm trying to think what kind of era that is based off the hair. Looked like it was kind of late 80s, but it might have been around it was probably around the late 80s. I don't know why I keep on looking at the mail, because it keeps on saying that there's somebody here. Oh, well, Lex gets inducted in the Hall of Fame about 20 years before. He actually does, but hey, good on him. Good on him. So day 3 is tomorrow, though. We still got a lot of people that have morale issues, but our roster is huge now at this point. With bringing in the Maximos and bringing in Jack and Roddy and the Briscoes. It's been a lot. But yeah, on to day 3. We go. Alrighty, so we had no locker room instances or anything like that, so we're good to go. We are at another gym for this tour show for day 3 of the old adventure tour. We got a duel at high noon, as Billy Kid and Kid's going to be back at it again. He's going to take on Sakiko Machine, which he will get that win during the duel, which we've made its own angle, because it's it's such a vital part of the match. It needs its own segment. The whole holster and the stare down and the quick draw sound. It's a whole production. BB Hulk and Yujiro, though, they're going to take on the Ninja Runners, which, of course, the Ninja Runners are going to win. In that one, Yujiro's going to lose. Masato Yoshino and Don Fuji are going to take on Mochizuki and Naruki Doi, rather. So yeah, Don Fuji's going to lose to Mochizuki. That's why I was saying Don. I was looking at the finish already. That'll, of course, be our main. Then, oh wow, Tozawa and Milano's on this card as well, which Milano's going to get the win. So at least they're going to have a win on this card. The old collection. Which they haven't, of course, been official yet, but once they do. And Shima and Kagetora taking on Jinko Horiguchi and Naruki Tanasaki, which Kagetora will be getting the win over Naruki Tanasaki. So a little undercard match. Ooh, we actually need to add... Do we have Abby signed right now still? Yep, he is officially signed. We could, I know we're going to have him go on an adventure in day 4. I don't know if we'll have him do something here in day 3. We're going to do a teaser package. Teaser. No, that's not how you spell vignette. We'll just say teaser video package for a mystery. Which is, it's so weird to do a mystery thing when you, because obviously it gives it away when we pick the person, but it's basically going to be a little subtle video. It's like in a club scene, and maybe even I wouldn't say a European club, definitely like one in Osaka, or even we could, I guess we can go to Tokyo for it, but or we could even go to Kobe. Either way, it's a pre-tape teaser. That something big's coming. Good shit. Yeah, it's a little TV package, really. People are gonna be like, what the hell? They're gonna think like they've tuned into something different, or we aired something that wasn't wrestling on the TV, or at least on the highlights, rather, of the tour. Yoshino and Dafu. Yeah, I'm about to say we could give that one more minute that way. We're right at 50 minutes, just so it's even. Alright. Let's end the show. Oh my lord. It's Shima again, god damn it. Every time. And he never wins with the fucking high noon either. I'm just gonna take that finish off. The way he actually uses the finish we want him to use. Oh, didn't mean to click that twice. God, I cannot wait for that motherfucker to get experience. Oh, yeah, he's not going to be the agent of his own match. All right. We're good. Yeah, that's the high noon. Did not work over well either. Milano beats Tozawa with the AT lock. That's a 41. I'm about to say, he should have a change of gimmick. Guess not. It's supposed to not be old school face. It's supposed to be, his model gimmick. So that's great. Taiji Shimori pinned Yujiro with a Hurricane Rana. Because he should not have even debuted his gimmick, because it should have been a teaser. Again, but the game doesn't know how to do that. Taiji Shimori pinning Yujiro with a Hurricane Rana, though, in about 6 minutes. Ninja Runners, of course, outperforming them. Crowd still disinterested. Now they're unclear. Brutal. But Kagetora, though, does beat Nuki Tanasaki, and actually a decent little tag match. Yeah, because Horiguchi and Nuki Tanasaki have the tag team specialist bonus, and Shima does well, obviously, in those matches. Even Kagetora's getting better, so overall pretty good stuff. And Machizuki, brutal out there. Nurikidoi's got his injury, but got the crowd buzzing, though, and we somehow saved it. Don Fuji gets caught with a Twister, too. Machizuki gets the win, just over 10 minutes, and 499 people didn't sell the bitch out, but we're still making money. Almost back up to 300,000. That's great. Fucking Goldberg with the the shitty stage, that contraption that I still don't know what it was. Teo and Yamaguchi retired. That's crazy. Was he? Oh, he's leaving the wrestling business. Damn, that's crazy. All those guys that coming in that should be training under him. Finally, Kudo's back to 100% though. Alrighty, so yeah, day 4 is tomorrow. We'll see how that show plays out. As for day 4, though, we see Mark Briscoe. He's already fitting right in. He entertained the locker room by organizing a poker tournament, and of course the basic safety training drills. As for day 4, though, we're gonna see Ebi-san. He's gonna go on his little TV adventure. We're just gonna have him with the TV studio people and a camera, and give him a microphone and let him go on an adventure near the TV studio, just cause some mischief and mayhem and harass people on the street, basically. But Jack Evans, he's going to have his debut match here against Shuji Kondo. As far as Jack will be losing to Shuji Kondo there, we're putting on Steal the Show. Very much hearkening to that Dragon Kid type of matchup with Shuji Kondo, where he can just really muster up a lot of people and just beat the fuck out of people. And Michael Iwasa and Daniel Mishima of the Florida Brothers are going to get their DQ win over Kudo and Hero. M2K and Blood Generation, obviously that's going to be the main event. We're giving this a lot of time, 17 minutes. Doi's going to beat Shingo as well, so a huge win for M2K. As obviously that will be our main event. Then Don Fuji and Kagetora against Yoshitone and Kota Ibushi. That's where going to be the co-main, actually. Don Fuji's going to beat Yoshitone, who again is going to complain about that booking. And then we're going to see Jay and Mark, as we had to have Akira Hokuto on the pre-show setting of it to make sure she gets... to make sure just, the match was going to get saved. But the Briscoe brothers, they're going to take on Do Fixer of Saito and Taiji Shimori. It's weird because we kinda... Ishimori and Saito's a really good team, but man, this would be great for Jay Briscoe and Mark, too, to get a win on their debut. They're not going to win, though. It is going to be Saito. He's going to beat Mark, because Mark hasn't been to Japan yet at this point. Actually, in real life, I think he had been, because he went to Big Japan, like, around the time he was in CZW, and that was 2002, 2003. He was like 18, 19. Actually, probably even younger than that. I think he was 17, because I think that was in 2002. But crazy. Mark does lose here, though, to Saito. Nonetheless, fun match, though. We got the Florida brothers and the Briscoe brothers. Yeah, but the TV spot there. We're right at 68 minutes. It was kind of crazy because we actually had the time set for an hour and a half. I guess we could maybe take it down a little bit, but we also probably shouldn't have that open up the show. I just now realized that. Let's swap it. Let's have the Briscoe brothers go here. Then the comedy matches in. The Jack Evans Shuji. Well, nah. Nah, fuck it. Let's go back to where we were. Yeah. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Oh, I do want to check. Make sure Shima's not agenting any of these. If he is, he can agent the angle. Yeah, actually, Gensuke's fine. Yeah, there's gonna be Shima, so Gensuke. Alright, perfect. So we're good here. So on the show, not a bad debut. So yeah, the Sky Swagger God as his gimmick. Obviously, Jack Evans from the heavens. Really, his gimmick, I guess, could be like kind of what a white person around that era was. That there is a definition of it, but I really don't even want to say it because I mean it technically is a play on a bad word, but Shuji Kondo getting the win nonetheless with the King Kong lariat, which Jack would have took a great lariat there as well. It sucks they don't have chemistry, because that's a fun match. But 37 so both ways for Jack and Shuji Kondo. It's a good debut for him. Good debut for him. 43 though for the Florida Brothers. In Hiro and Kudo, the Florida Brothers getting that win with the DQ. Yeah, cooled the crowd down, which we're not going to get the crowd back because we don't have a Steal the Show match, but... And the TV segment here for Ebi-san, who again is fucking awful as his character, but God bless Ebi-san, just letting him run roughshod. So, for Jay and Mark Briscoe, obviously, they at this time, I would definitely tell them not to rock the Rebel flags on their gear, but around this time I think just them doing like a camo gear is just better. But they were obviously still using Lynyrd Skynyrd Give Me Back My Bullet around this time. But I definitely want to incorporate their Reach for the Sky, that intro. That I always thought that was a great intro to have for them, and that saying because eventually we're gonna have them and Billy Kid as like a actual official team and probably a group. But as far as for right now, they're not that yet, but they eventually will become that. So straight shooter for Jay Briscoe, obviously just a guy that he's not taking any shit. Kind of like a no gimmicks needed, but a combination of that with a combination of kind of Steve Austin's kind of, as far as DTA, Austin 316, that obviously that character, as far as the synopsis of it, fusing together. And then for Mark, the Sandy Fork Kung Fu gimmick, obviously just, Mark Briscoe's a character in itself, and that's why he's going to have an actual, so yeah, Jay's got a badass gimmick, and then Mark has a standard gimmick, which was kind of not what it should be really for him, because really he's an unorthodox individual. He's Chicken is hilarious, but it, man, I just feel like they're gonna fit right in though into Dragon Gate, because their style around this time was pretty perfect for that. But yeah, they lose here, and Dragon Suplex hold from Saito. They were the better team, Saito and Ishimori, but obviously Mark and Jay being a great team is gonna help them out a lot. Oh my God, a torn abdominal muscle for Don Fuji. Him and Kagetora beat Yoshitone and Kota Ibushi, but at what fucking cost? Brutal. And then M2K beat Blood Generation. Urkidoi pinning Shingo. After the Bakatori kick. So Machisuki Shima. Yeah, that is big tough. Big tough there. Shit, we might have to now replace Don Fuji, obviously. Yeah. So that's brutal. his injury. Obviously, we're not going to vacate the belt because each team at least gets one replacement. Hard to believe, man. I mean, if we didn't have that rule, we'd have to vacate the belt twice already. Like, it just wild. Absolutely wild. But it's the way she goes. And at least next day is every day in pro wrestling. We actually got to pay off Yoshitone. He's so fucking angry. He has got a Napoleon complex on him. I mean, Jesus Christ. $1,000. Alright, that at least just annoyed him. We're still above water, at least for the month. Yeah, and of course Roddy's coming in with the Messiah the Backbreaker gimmick, which I believe they will be making their debut on the next show. Yep. Yeah, they are, but yeah, then we get to see the fucking birth of Tai Chi joining the roster, so that's going to be fun. Alright, so the Everyday Pro Wrestling Show, day 50 here, so of course we'll be in the Dragon Gate Arena. Actually a pretty jam-packed show for everything that Fall Fix. So now the new champs, Shima, Kagatora, and Shingo are going to take on Do Fixer. Non-title matchup, Shingo's going to beat Yoshitone, which Yoshitone again's going to complain. So I guess we'll have him beat Ishimori. So I don't love that, but I really don't want to waste another $10,000, or not even $10,000, just $1,000 to lose. Jay and Mark Briscoe, though, they're going to beat Horiguchi and Tanasaki here. Suzuki Tanasaki's going to lose to Jay Briscoe. We're also going to see Naruki Doi and Hayato Jr. Fujita against Roddy and Jack Evans, which Hayato Jr. Fujita is going to beat Jack. Another loss for poor Jack Evans. And then Taiji and Yujiro Amore are going to beat Stalker Chikawa and Sakiko Machine, which we'll see. We want to have this be a comedy match, too. We'll see the birth of his entrance, which it's going to be like, at least for his debut, maybe not so much here. It'll be kind of on a shortened end of a scale, but it's basically going to start with the Steve Winwood song, transitioning, mixing into the Call on Me song, and then you start from there. I don't know why I can't find. There we go. I was blanking on where the Matt James was. There we go. So Tai Chi's gonna get the witness the birth of Tai Chi, because God love him. See, it's only gonna be a couple minutes this time around. Oh well, we actually could use more time on the card. Did not expect that. Yeah, bump that to 12. Bump this up to about 9 or 10. Just 9 will work. Bump that up to 11. There we go. So we're good to go. So Tai Chi, we haven't changed his shit. His gimmick is the prize now, as far as the actual name of it. As far as his moves, I was going to have the... he's got a German suplex and muscle drop kick. Once he actually does like the shit, like the Mephisto, the Black Mephisto bomb and all that, or the Great Mephisto and all that, yeah, and the modified stretch plum, all that shit, and the quad, power bomb, and it's definitely gonna use some fun names to go along with that. A missile drop kick, I guess that'll work. Guess that'll work for now. And that will get changed eventually. He can have his finish be that for now, but... Oh, we forgot to change it to... because we had it to where it's pre-booked, so that way, once Tai Chi actually joined the company, we'd be able to just swiftly switch it. But we forgot to do that, and I completely did not realize it. And then Sheen was the agent, too, for the match. But Tai Chi actually did really well. He got a 39 in this comedy match. So that's good. At least we know he's... Which is pretty fair. He's a pretty great comedy guy, all things considered. We'll actually have Shima call that as well. Yeah, I just want Kinsuke getting that. So Hokuto doesn't have to be here, at least. The Messiah the Backbreaker, is only adequate. But they are a good team, though, Roddy and Jack. It's crazy how great Jack... I mean, it makes sense. Because obviously Jack, this fits his style. This, Dragon Gate's kind of perfect for him. It's kind of crazy how good he is. He even did better than Naruki Doi here. But him and Hayato Jr. Fujita, get the win, though, nonetheless. And Fujita gets the submission victory. Yeah, we gave him a realistic gimmick, because Roddy's just kind of that typical indie guy of the time that didn't really have a gimmick. Just a straight-laced fucking wrestler. And Horiguchi and Yuki Tanasaki, they're losing to Jay and Mark Briscoe, the Springboard Doomsday Device here. Love that finish, and I think it's a perfect way for them to get a win as well here in the Dragon Gate Arena. Not a sellout crowd or anything, but still, good bit of people. And then our main event, 57, see the champs, the new champs, Shingo, Kagato, and Shima beating the Do Fixer team. Shingo pinning Ishimori after a pumping bomber with a 57. Wow. They did not like that show. Guess we could have put more time onto the angle. But yeah, we made 10 grand off ticket sales. So fuck them. Fuck them. As we just have a couple more days left of the tour. So we're past the halfway point. The debuts have gone actually really well, especially Jack's. I didn't expect Jack Evans to do as well as he's done. He's been probably the best addition since obviously like Danielson and Shelley and AJ, which those guys were. I mean, AJ and Danielson, what a get. But for the tour, we're back to day 5. Be 4 days away. We're back almost up to 300,000 again, so that's great. The SATs are going to debut here relatively soon, so then we'll have basically everybody that's jumped a part of the tour will be here ready to go. So, you know, all things are looking pretty up, honestly, for us. Yeah, on to day 5 we go. Alrighty, day 5. As far as for this day, of course, the debut of the SATs, as we'll see them take on the Collection of Perfection of BB Hulk and Yujiro. Maximo gets the win over BB Hulk. Also going to see a kind of a return match here with Shogo and Iwasa, with Shogo costing Iwasa the win over his fellow Aigan Lisu team. Why not have him have a singles match? And he's going to get the win, though. He is going to end up pulling out a fast one and getting the victory. And not a clean and decisive finish. That is not in the cards for him. But, yeah, I mean, as far as the SATs, they are going to get the win, too, which is kind of crazy we're giving them a win in their debut compared to some of the other guys we've had. You know, literally, I think the Briscoes, they lost their first match, and same thing for Roddy and Jack, which, speaking of Roddy and Jack, they're going to take on Don Fuji and Tozawa, and they're going to beat them. Jack's going to beat Tozawa in 8 minutes. Oh, that's right, Don Fuji's hurt. Doi, how could I forget? What a dork. So I gotta make sure nobody else on. Okay, so it's all Do Fixer guys. Well, we can either go with Shima or Yoshihino. We should probably go with Shima. But it's kind of weird that Shima's gonna lose in this match, but fuck it. We'll do it live. Here we go. Also, while I'm thinking about it, want to make sure. Oh, actually, Shima can agent that match. Fuck it, I'll agent that one too. Why not? Because I have a good feeling about this show, though. Jack Briscoe and Mark Briscoe with the Billy Kid taking on Do Fixer. Kota Ibushi's going to beat Kid. And yeah, I mean, again, we're planting seeds. That's all this is. Actually, Yoshitone's always bitching about losing. Let's give him a win. Fuck it. There we go. And the Milano and Tai Chi against Jinkei Horiguchi and Naoki Tanasaki. As, yeah, but I mean, we were going to give Milano a win here. But I don't know now. I'm thinking about it. I feel like giving it to Tai Chi would help him out. Get established again in probably another dropkick win. I think we're going to just hold off a little bit before we give him some bigger moves. But boy, is this card, now I'm thinking about it, like, it's actually not that crazy. A lot of just younger talent. We kind of need this now to be the steal of the show. It's kind of crazy. We also obviously need an angle, too. I guess we could have the main event be the angle. We can have, we'll have Machizuki versus Yoshihino. Press conference. We'll just put press con. Just short it up. But yeah, just hyping it up, pre-tape. Have it be a video angle. I guess we could have it be an actual angle itself. Call it that instead of having it be a video package. But as far as Machizuki, yeah, character development, I guess. Probably kind of the best case scenario for it. And Yoshino, posing with the belts. Maybe having, each belt on their side of the table of the press conference and talking about how big of a show this is going to be in the Battle of the Champs. Having that main event, I think's a little different, but we'll see how it plays out. I think it's going to be a good little show, though. We're at the Saki, or the Saki, or maybe it's even Sakai. It's probably the Sakai Sports Center, but the Maximos, as far as the SATs, they beat Yujiro and BB Hulk, and yeah, shouldn't have done that. Should not have done that. Well, Jose was rusty, which is crazy. Has he been injured? Is that why he's not working anywhere? That's fucking wild. So I'm almost positive they were both in TNA around this time. But at least their gimmicks did pretty well. But yeah, Spanish Fly on the BB Hulk. I mean, the wrong team won. We should have went with the fucking Collection of Perfection. We might do a rematch on day 6 and have them get that win back, to be honest. So that's just disheartening. Yeah, then Iwasa gets the DQ win in 5:51. Yeah, this is going downhill in a hurry. 43 here. Because we forgot to take Shima off the agent. And Billy Kid is still rusty. Oh my god. Oh man. They outperformed the Briscoes though. My god. Yeah, Mark and Jay, they still got a ways to go. I just gotta make sure. It's like, are they aging any more of these goddamn matches? Make sure it's Kensuke. It was Shima. Thank God. 54, there we go. As Jack and Roddy. Again, Jack's almost in the 50s. He's literally like one of the top 5 guys on the roster almost. He gets them with the corkscrew moonsault here. We gotta give them their finish. That homage to the Bulldogs. Finish fucking rules. God bless him. God bless him. Yeah, Tozawa, worst guy in the match. No surprise, obviously, since he just debuted a couple of months ago. And 51. For a pseudo main event, Tai Chi and Milano. Hell of a little team, actually. They, almost in the 50s, both of them. Missile drop kick from Tai Chi again. And, yeah, Tanasaki's worst guy in the match, so makes sense he loses. And the angle, as far as for the press conference between Machizuki and Masato Yoshino, building up to the title matchup. The men in suits at the TV studio, just kind of filming it with, bring some legit press out. Why not? Why not? Let them answer some press questions, and I don't think we'll have an angle. I thought about doing it, but that's a little too corny sometimes. Having a guy get attacked. Especially like Blood Generation jumping Machizuki or something. I just don't think it'd be necessary. We could have had him get jumped and busted open. I would not have minded that and put the blood on the belt, but again, I think just a little too corny sometimes. This should be treated, even though there is hatred between the two, and it's literally fueled Blood Generation into taking out Machizuki and whatnot. But at sometimes you just gotta be like, we gotta not overdo it. Sometimes you can't put a hat on top of a hat. Sometimes, and I think that's what it would have been had we done that. But our final tour date's coming up, so day 6. Then we'll have a couple of more as far as day of pro wrestling shows, and then we'll be on the actual final show of the tour. Alrighty, so now this is taking way too long as far as to get this episode out, but we are at the home stretch at least. As before we get to the last day of the tour, as far as for the tour date itself for day 6, Junko Orguchi has a idea for an angle which we can hopefully use on this show. Actually, it's Junko Orguchi and Johnson, Florida, Takayuki Yagi helped create a fun and relaxed atmosphere backstage. After finding a discarded karaoke machine, oh no, it wasn't even discarded. It was just fine for they found one, and they started an impromptu pre-show competition. And then their over-the-top duet was the highlight. Those in attendance for that. Very fun stuff. So, Ebi-san, he is on his adventure tour with the TV studio, and as he's kind of he's going down the streets, talking with people, and having a fun time. He eventually passes an alleyway, and the music starts, and he stops his tracks. Takes a couple of steps back and turns, and it's Billy Kid waiting, with his hand kind of out by his his side, like he's about to grab his holster, and you just hear, "Oh, you're feeling lucky, punk." And Ebi-san turns to the camera, and obviously with his mask and the kind of expression that has is great in itself, and he just slowly shakes his head to the camera and runs away. So that's the adventure, but it's very much showing that I would say it's the anthology of Ebi-san's adventures, another installment of that. Which then leads to the match itself. We get the match, which Billy Kid ends up winning. Ebi-san's very unhappy about it. But, hey, it is what it is. So, it's basically like that happens, kind of like a pre-taped studio thing, and then the match gets booked for this day. So, Horiguchi and Tanasaki against the Collection of Perfection, Taichi and BB Hulk, which Tanasaki actually wins here. He beats BB Hulk, so that's a win for Do-Fixer. And Milano and Yujiro against the SATs. Yujiro's going to get that win for him. Which, bringing in some of this, the foreign talent has been great for a lot of the guys that haven't really been getting a lot of wins. It's helped kind of boost them up, especially those two. Even though, obviously, Tanasaki beat BB Hulk, who's more of like a young lion, but still, you get the gist of what we're laying down as far as just bringing in younger talent and newer guys. This is definitely a main event though. M2K and Blood Generation, Shima and Shingo against Doi and Hayato Jr. Fujita. Shima's gonna get the win though in 10 minutes. Of course, he's the fucking agent. I will let it be Kinsuke. And Roddy and Jack against Shuji Kano and Shogo Takagi. Roddy's gonna beat Shogo Takagi. That is another win, and Shogo is very unhappy about that. I don't blame him really on that one. That is pretty crazy. As for the show itself, I mean, yeah, we got our 5 matches, so we just gotta change the time on that. Yeah. We just got a couple of unhappy people for this tour show. I actually want to double check. Okay, yeah, I don't know why. I was like, man, I just want to make sure it is an actual tour show. So, yeah, make sure everything's kind of flows exactly how we want it, yeah. Alright, I think we're good to go here for day 6. Oh, actually. Yeah, let's go ahead and have Shima at least agent a match. Not agenting the angle, though. We have our limits. I guess he can agent that, too. The quicker he gets out of it, the better, really. Oh, and then Billy Kid. Have that be Kinsuke as well. Because the less we have to bring in Akira Hokuto, the better, honestly, even though she's great. It's just, we're trying to penny pinch a little bit. But our opening matchup. It gets a 49, and Naoki Tanasaki gets the one with the implant over BB Hulk. It's actually kind of close. They were the better team, but not too bad for a team that does not have any tag team specialist bonus or anything to get that close. The SATs, as far as almost output, were literally tied with Milano and Yujiro and Jose as Rusty. So, I mean, that just shows you how great they're going to be, because they fit exactly that Dragon Gate style to the quick tags, the tandem moves, the combination of moves they do, and it's a lot of fun. Boy, did this. Anytime we bring in Ebi-san for this adventure tour, it's a shit show, but God bless him, though. I can't keep him away. I'm just going to get rid of that last Balda. I always say that. I said that last time, and I just keep on forgetting to do it, because I'm tired of him winning with that and not winning with the high noon. But Roddy and Jack, they were the better team because of the great chemistry. Shogo and Shuji Kondo losing here. It's so funny again. Jack's best guy in the match. He just fucking debuted for the company. As Blood Generation M2K, our main event, 53. Thought it was going to be a little bit better, but that's alright. Shima and Doi really actually doing about the same. It was an upset for sure, but it was at least relatively close. I was going to actually give this one to Shingo, funny enough, which that would have been a terrible idea, but I'm just feeling bad for him. I want him to get better. Shingo's the man. Just not happening. But Shima wins with the swing on the Ricky Doi. Kind of crazy it only got a 50, to be honest. I feel like that main event, we just could not get everything back on track, but I felt like the show was actually going pretty well. And yeah, there goes that day. And then now we just have a premium, as far as premium, every day of pro wrestling show. Then we'll be at the Adventure Gate show, and we will take an adventure to see who will be. I love how now Jeffson CMLL's Willow. He's going all over the place. Probably a terrible idea, actually, to go down to Mexico around this time for him. He needs to be on the old straight and narrow. That is not a place you want to go, at least around this time period. Oh, well, Xavier's going to Noah. So is Del Rio and Zack Sabre Jr., which at least that makes sense, but a little earlier than when he usually goes. Obviously, I hope Joey Legend beat the fuck out of Teddy Hart, though, in Stampede. Yeah, so yeah. Oh, we can just go ahead and go. I mean, even though Shogo's not a big part of the roster, he is a part still. Oh my god. Hey, is he... What's he doing on this show? Is he doing anything on this show? No, he's not doing anything on that show. Oh, we also have a premium... Oh, okay, so there's actually 2 days. Back to back. Or, yeah, it is something. It's back to back to back, actually. So this is a pretty jam-packed little day. Oh, let's have... We'll try and at least give him the night off. Maybe he'll be a little happy about that. Just maybe. Yeah, I mean, we ran this, yeah, as far as for Hokuto. It's a bad idea to probably do it. Because that's just too... That's just not enough fucking people, to be honest. Is there anywhere else we could probably go? Oh, yeah, we could go here. Yeah, the old Uzahara Gymnasium. That'll work. Actually, I'm an idiot. Every day of pro wrestling tours, they're all in the Dragon Gate Arena. So that's just great. Fugo. Yumeji. Yeah, I mean, Yumaishi. He'd actually be pretty perfect for us, but he is a freelancer. We'll bring him on. Nah, never mind. So we already got everything kind of pre-booked and whatnot. Oh, Kinsuke and Namoka get into a big row. And Jack Evans got a creative finish. Oh yeah, and we forgot to use Jinki Horiguchi's angle idea. Whoops. So Tozawa and Taichi gonna open up the show. Obviously, Taichi's gonna beat Tozawa there in 6 minutes. Hiro and Kudo are gonna beat the Maximos. As, yeah, Kudo gonna get a win. A much needed win for him. Then Blood Generation against the combination of M2K plus Taiji Shimura and Yoshitone. This is an elimination style matchup. This is a major match. As you can see the elimination. So it's gonna start off with M2K being down a person. Then they're gonna be down 2 people. And it's like, oh shit. But then, he evened it up by beating Kagato and Shingo. So now it's tied up Ishimori then loses. Oh, actually, well, now we can't do that, yeah, because Don Fuji's hurt. Shit. Yeah, that's brutal. We can make it a 4-man elimination match, I guess. We'll keep Ishimori. And let's see, Shima, Kagetora, Shingo. Okay. So yeah, now we gotta remove Don Fuji and Yoshitones. So yeah, I still like Hayata Jr. Fujita getting eliminated first. Then Kagetora. So then now it's all tied again. Actually, that would be Shingo. Then Kagetora, so they actually take the lead for a bit in M2K this time around. But then Ishimori gets eliminated. Then Doi. And then Shima, which leaves champion and champion in the end, which Yoshino beats Machizuki. So that is pretty fucking massive, of course. We gave them a lot of time. And let's see what we can do, if we can do anything with the angle. Maybe I'll do a post-match promo from Blood Generation. As far as having Yoshino getting the promo, and basically after he beats the champ, Blood Generation, very, very ecstatic. They hit the ring back after seeing Yoshino get it done, celebrating winning and beating the champ. And actually, we'll have Kagetora do a non-speaking appearance, him and Shingo. But for Kagetora and Shingo hoisting up Yoshino like he just won the actual big time match. Maybe it's a little prelude to what might happen at the big show. And also Yoshino shouts out Don Fuji, says he's doing it for him. So that will be nice. Well, actually, let's see. Let's actually remove Don Fuji because we'll have him be off screen. Because I want him to actually be at ringside for that match. Yeah, we'll hype it up. Hype job for Machizuki, who will be... actually, he'll be off screen. Yeah, Do Fixer, or not Do Fixer. M2K, they'll try to take him to the back. Oh, we can actually add a little bit more time to something. Let's actually add more time to the match. Probably a terrible idea. Yeah, because everybody's going to be used too much now. I'm sure someone's actually going to get hurt. But, fuck it. What's the worst that can happen? Shima, again, was the agent for this. But that's fine. He could use the agenting. Taichi, though, with a 50 is good shit to see. Hopefully, Kensuke's that agent as well. Yeah, we'll have Kensuke agent. The promo. So 49, again, Jose still rusty. Hiro and Kudo doing very well in this matchup. Kudo gets the win with the diving double knee drop. They're a good little team, Hiro and Kudo, so I'm glad they get the win. Thank God nobody got hurt. Hell of a match, though. Hell of a fucking match, and Yoshino beating him as well. Huge. Absolutely huge. Promo itself, not the greatest. Yeah, everybody was using pretty much too much on that main event, which is, again, it's weird because it's an elimination match, you're only seeing a certain amount of guys a certain amount of time, so it's not like they're being overly used, if that makes sense. But again, the game, it's got its limitations. It is what it is, though. But yeah, I mean, again, we're pretty fortunate nobody got hurt there, to be honest. I mean, that's a lot of time. With the style we have, very much could happen where somebody would have got hurt in that match. But now we're just down to our final little show here of the tour before we get to the actual final show of the tour. Yes, Shogo is still unhappy. We're still doing pretty well money-wise, so I think we can actually send some money his way and it not cost us anything major. Let's give him, let's try $5,000. Alright, well, annoyed, we can deal with annoyed. So for day 3 of the premium shows, nah, we won't send anybody off. Oh my god. Yeah, the guys with the Katano Dome. Jesus Christ. Yeah, forget that we made it a lesser event. And, yeah, so we can actually run, like, a huge show. We'll probably run a show in Kanto. That way, we can run Osaka the next night. Let's see if we can get something above at least 2,000. That would be great. Oh, that's right at 2,000, alright. Yeah, the Chichibu Gymnasium, that'll work. 2,500. We will put that on, we're actually going to put that on the Tiny. Yeah, we'll put it on Tier 2 of Gaora Sports. It's not a big show, it's just a lesser show. And the basic safety training drills. Milano coming up with a great finish. Good on him. So, yeah, but we'll have a duel at high noon here. As it's going to be... so the Briscoes with Billy Kid, they're going to take on the Collection of Perfection. Ebi-san is going to distract Billy Kid. Because he wants an actual duel now. He's ready. He's practiced, right? And basically have the idea of them, you know, taking their paces, turning around. And basically Ebi-san, I want him to either trip or, like, think that his shoe's untied. Something like that, where he ducks. And at first, you know, it's just basically before they actually start to run, you know, Ebi-san's already, like, dropping down to tie his shoe, and Billy Kid catches him, you know, with that sick kick after Ebi-san ties his shoe, and he gets destroyed from that. But it's a fun little moment in just a comedy spot. Kagatora and Roderick Strong, though, going to be the next match, which Kagatora's going to beat Roddy, which is actually pretty nuts. But Kagatora's going to outperform him. He should do a better job, at least. We're also going to have Shingo and Jinkei Horiguchi in a singles match, which Horiguchi's going to win. That's probably going to be damn near the main event. I don't know if it will be the actual main, but it's going to be pretty close. And then Shuji Kondo and Shogo Takagi, they're going to take on the SATs here, which Shuji Kondo going to get the win here. The SATs, though, man, once they're not rusty anymore, they're going to be just great. Our co-main event, a Do Fixer match. Ishimori and Yoshitone's going to beat Kotobushi and Yuki Tanasaki. Damn, we just missed out on the time, but I think we're just going to have that be an hour. Anyways. Yeah, because what, last year, what? Yeah, we actually put together like a six match card. We're not gonna do that this year, though. We already had the big time match on the previous night, actually. So it's kind of weird that this does not get like kind of a bigger match, but it gets some interesting matches along the way, at least. So 47, and again, Shima's the agent for it. I love how we keep forgetting to change that, and every time he gets the opening match. But the King Kong Lariat from Shuji Kondo getting it done there, and that was actually a really good match. All things considered. As again, Kinsuke. Well, actually, Shima can get that. Yeah, Kinsuke gets this next matches. Perfect. This went exactly how I wanted it to go. Alright, so 45 for the Collection of Perfection matchup versus Billy Kid in the Briscoes. as the collection of perfection, of course, getting the win. Billy Kid, though, actually did pretty well. He got a 46. He's getting better with his little gimmick, too. He loses with a roll-up since he was distracted by Ebi-san, but they get their duel. And oh my god, it's just a fucking disaster. Every time. Every time. Kagetora does beat Roddy. Yeah, Roddy outperformed him. That's what I get. Kagetora was really off his game, so he would have outperformed him if he had been on his A game. And then Ishimori beats Naoki Tanasaki with the Superstar Elbow. They did well. Of course, the Tag Team Specialist bonus. Ibushi, though, best guy in the match. In our main event, 54, as Jin Kawaguchi beats Shingo. With the, or actually, excuse me, Shingo. Yeah, that's right. That's the finish we wanted to do. Basically, Shingo powers out of the backslide. I want him to kind of do like a gory bomb out of that. I think that's a great counter, obviously, to his backslide. Gory bombs him, then off the ropes, plumping bomber. A huge upset on a major platform like this. It's kind of crazy. That was in front of 2,500 people in the gym, because that card was not worthy of that many people. But a huge moment, though, nonetheless, for Shingo to beat Genki Horiguchi. And goddamn, do we get so much money out of that show. That was crazy. Absolutely crazy. As now we go to the Gate of Adventure. We will see the champions collide in our main event to start off the month of August, too, which we should. Yeah, we made basically that money back we lost from the previous month, so that was great. Perfect. Perfect. All right, yeah, on to the Gate of Adventure. All right, so we start off with the Gate of Adventure, which is fucking hilarious that the comedy match that goes 2 minutes sees a string rotator cuff from Ebi-san, as we had to change the opening match because, of course, this was supposed to be Tozawa and Kagetora against Jack Evans and Roddy Strong. Now, though, we have had the team of Ebi-san and Saki Chikawa. They have put their, I guess you could say, their comedy differences aside, and they, of course, are an excellent team, which is awesome. But funny enough, Billy Kid and Akira Tozawa are an excellent team, too. So basically, Billy Kid, he wants he starts off the match, he's wanting, Ebi-san to go into the duel. But Ebi-san is refusing every time. He's just like, no, I'm not doing it. Shakes his head, tries to shake his hand, tries to hug him. Like, he's literally trying everything to not, to avoid this shootout with Billy Kid. But Saki Chikawa says, fuck that shit. So he doesn't even tag in first. First of all, he just gets into the ring and they, he's telling them, come on, do it. What are you, coward? Tries to, gets out of the ring, tries to hand him his as far as his say, oh my god, I can't, I'm just thinking of Trident, but that's, it's the same thing, but it's kind of not, and in the same, the pitchfork. We'll just go with that for now, because I'm blanking on the actual word. But Billy Kid says, fuck that shit, and hits him with the high noon, but he hits Saki Chikawa with it, and not Ebi-san, who is the legal man. However, Ebi-san is like, oh my god, he dodged the bullet, literally, sigh of relief, sweat of wiping his hand across his forehead, just be like, whew, dodged the bullet there. But he drags Saki Chikawa into his corner and tags in his lifeless body, and having Billy Kid, he's basically throws his hands down like he's all yours. So he drags him into the center and pins him, which Tozawa literally did nothing in the match. But hey, nice to see him out there, even though he gets a 20. But it's hilarious that Ebi-san strained his rotator cuff. We're gonna say he strained it by carrying over the lifeless body of Saki Chikawa, even though he's 150 pounds. But that's just hilarious. That's how that happened. So our next thing, it's the entrance, a big entrance here for the Collection of Perfection. We wanted this, we're in the Daigo Grand Dome, their big show debut. We're going all out for it, right? It starts with Milano and Yujiro first. So everyone's thinking, oh, it's, they're like a fashionista gimmick. But then, lights dim, you start hearing the house music that, the beat to, obviously, Call on Me. And then it cuts to an actual video that we shot replicating the actual video itself, but it's not as over the top as far as that video is. And it's BB Hulk and Tai Chi leading the class. Instead, it then leads to them appearing on stage with those same kind of backup dancers, and they do their little routine, and it's a whole spiel. It's very over the top. We're having them work the crowd, BB Hulk and Tai Chi, because they're, they got the mics, like the kind of workout. I wouldn't say the workout mic, because kind of like the early 2000s like pop mics that like Britney Spears would have, or the kind of little one gimmick that was just like attached to their ear. That went down to basically like being like a fitness instructor type of thing, because that's that's the music video, and they're thinking, Tai Chi believes that he is that. So, and BB Hulk's, he's drinking the Kool-Aid. He's going along with it. And even Yujiro and Milano are just aghast. They're just like, what in the fuck have we gotten ourselves into? But they get the win now on the Collection of Perfection. Milano submits Jay Briscoe with the AT lock. Taichi's getting better with his gimmick. The Briscoes do well in the match. Literally, Taichi's one of the best guys we have on the roster. It's phenomenal. God bless him. We need to have BB Hulk now manage Taichi. I think Yujiro's already managing Milano, but that way they're both out there for those matches. Then the Florida Express beat Aigon Lisu. Oh no, it was... Wait a minute. Oh, that's right. Okay, I was about to say. So yeah, here's the finish. We see Shuji Kondo actually take out the ref while Hiro and Kudo are attacking, Mishima and Iwasa and Johnson, Florida. So he takes out the ref, right? King Kong Lariat. 1, 2, 3, right? However, the referee reverses that decision after they show the footage on the on the Tron there in the dome. DQs Shuji Kondo, and Kondo is livid. Absolutely livid. The Florida Express dodge the bullet, right? They carry Mishima's lifeless body to the back, Johnson, Florida, and Daniel Mishima. And Kondo gets on the microphone and says, "Wait just a goddamn minute." And they turn around and it's fucking Shuji Kondo yelling at him, saying that he has been sick and tired of seeing the bullshit of what you guys have been up to ever since we started this company, as far as in Dragon Gate, and even before Dragon Gate and Torimon, saying that you guys are nothing but a joke, that he knows that Aigon Lisu is going to be the group to finally end the charade and the just all of this bullshit, as far as he's pissed. Absolutely pissed. But he does not wager a unit disbandment match. No. He wants something more personal. He wants to wager hair and mask. Whoever loses in their matchup, and he says, "Don't worry, you can keep old Johnson, Florida. You can keep that dork. We want Kensuke. We want to shave Kensuke's head." So now he's even calling out Kensuke for the Sanctuary Gate show. And then Mishima and Iwasa, they get a microphone, out from the back, as far as somebody comes out and hands them one. They go, "If you're dumb enough to shave that goofy fucking mohawk of yours, by all means, we'll gladly do that. You're not going to shave this great piece of American hair that they're rocking. These beautiful blonde locks are staying right on top." So that's just, and I think it's a story that can be told like this, to where that blonde hair, is it kind of the bleach blondness hair, is that kind of a hearkening to the American culture? Somewhat, I guess. I would say kind of not really, but I guess technically it is a part of the culture, but it's not like a major part or anything. And hell, he was at the time. I don't even think he's got the dyed hair right now, but Mishima does. He's got the blonde hair, but it's fun though. And Kensuke, of course, has his he dyed his hair for the Florida Express, so it's a compelling story. Gets Kensuke on the card as well, so it kind of kills two birds with one stone, and we'll see. Someone's going to lose their hair, or unmask in Hiro's case, because he wants a rematch with the Florida Express. So Ninja Runners, they beat M2K here. Taiji Shimori beats Hayato Jr. Fujita, so a tough break there for M2K. It's a great match, though, all because really Naruki Doi, who was fantastic. And as far as I get, the Ninja Runners are a great team. But Naruki Doi, though, I mean, that rating's incredible. And it got the crowd buzzing, too, for the title matches. And we do see a title change. TEW Fixer, again, champs. So here was Masato Yoshino's big plan to become not only, as far as having the Triangle Gate champs with Shima, Kagetora, and Shingo, but now they've lost him before he even gets to the match with Mochizuki. And obviously a hell of a trios team is Ibushi, Horiguchi, and Saito, all in the 60s. Phenomenal stuff. Kagetora's actually getting better now, so that's been great to see, even though he just bruised his eye socket out there. Kind of crazy that they only got a 54, but Jinke Horiguchi gets his win back too over Shingo as well. He gets on with the beach break, and yeah, they're back to being champs. So good on them. In our main event, we do in fact see Mochizuki beat Masato Yoshino. Need a better color commentary, but yeah, that's his fourth defense. Mochizuki adds another key to the dream title. What a win. Afterwards, this is post-show. This is for basically what we're going to see. It's a pre-tape promo slash interview. The interview is for Mochizuki as far as with Ketsuya Ichikawa. Talk with the champ. Talk about how big of a moment this was to beat somebody like Yoshino, a guy who unfortunately beat Naruki Doi for that championship, and to not kind of put the youngster in his place a little bit. Yeah, kind of Ichikawa kind of joking, but Mochizuki kind of shuts that down. Says, "No, I mean, Masato Yoshino, he's one of the best in the world, and he was not an easy opponent by any means. He proved it when he fought, of course, Naruki Doi, and they had their match, and Doi's beaten him in the past. On that night, though, Yoshino got it done. I'm sure Doi is going to look to get that championship back real soon." And Doi cuts him off. He said, "Yeah, absolutely. That chance is coming on the very next show. Gate of Sanctuary. The trilogy. He wants it." He says, "Yoshino, you turned 25. I turned 25 in October. We only got one more dance at this. We don't, time's a ticking. Of course, once somebody reaches 26, if they're the champ, they vacate the belt, and of course, plus 26, you can't challenge for the belt anymore. It's now or never." And they feel that the Gate of Sanctuary, the third match of the year for them, for that Open the Brave Gate Championship, and they believe it's the right time. The time is now, before it's too late. And Ichikawa, Mark's fan, that'd be a phenomenal match. Hopefully we can get that done. And that's, basically what we get, which then turns into, obviously, when we air the actual tour highlights for the next tour for the Gated Sanctuary, it will in fact become official. So, great stuff. The main event, fucking delivered in a big way, of course, as always, with Mochizuki and Masato Yoshino. The angles, again, just keep on shitting the bed, but some great matches, though, on the show. That actually did a lot better than I thought it was going to be. The then Journers and M2K for some reason. I don't know why. I wasn't expecting almost a 60. New Open the Triangle Gate champs, though, for TEW Fixer. They're going to defend those belts, though, on that Gate of Sanctuary show as well. Mochizuki, I'm kind of up in the air what I want to do with him on that show, because It really is, again, the Triangle Gate. Maybe not, though. Maybe, I'm up in the air with it, with how I want that Gate Sanctuary show to go, because, of course, the Triangle Gate tournament is the following tour after that. So to have them go in as champions without having, defended the belt beforehand, I mean, it does make sense in a way, but also, I feel like there's some teams that do belong in that kind of title hunt, potentially. It's up in the air. It's up in the air, that is for sure. Actually, because I might even do... I was thinking of having Yoshitone, Ishimori, and Nuki Tanasaki in the match. That way it's Do-Fixer versus Do-Fixer, but we might go away from that. Yeah, let's put over Yoshino and Machizuki, and let's see who else to put over. Tai Chi, man. I mean, Tai Chi, God bless him. It's been a great addition. A fantastic addition. Yeah, I mean, Ebison's going to be out anyways, so he'll be leaving us after this show anyways. Yep, almost at 400K. Increased the popularity. All around, I would say a pretty great show. A success. For fucking sure. And now, we go to the Gate of Sanctuary for our next episode. We see the title match. It's going to main event the trilogy between, and that's going to be the third time they've main evented this year, too. As far as, we still have a couple of, obviously, the last everyday pro wrestling show within the premium pro wrestling shows. Which we might... I liked the idea of what we did last year on that show. If I remember correctly, that was the show where we had the multi-man match. Yeah, I think we're going to do that again, actually. And that's who's going to take on Machizuki. So I like that idea. Well, we could use Saito again. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Kind of the same idea. Because, Machizuki was in that match. He lost it. But he was in that match. And I think that could be a great story to tell. To be like he wants to do the exact same thing that happened. Oh my god, Brian Lee is in 0-1. That's wild. But yeah, I mean, that show went very, very well. Money-wise, we're looking great. I didn't even use any of these creative finishes. I completely forgot about that. We'll definitely be using them, though, in the future. Did that really fuck up our show, to be honest, not using those? A little bit. But it's still damn near the same. It did better than the Gate of Mayhem, actually, so... Fuck them. Fuck them. Alrighty, yeah, I think we got a really good show on our hands, though. We're getting closer to medium. Just a couple of points away. So close. If we can get to medium before we run out of money, we'll be perfect. And I think we will be in that kind of sweet spot. But, man, the talent we brought in during the Adventure Tour was phenomenal. We're probably going to keep most of them, actually. We're going to keep Roddy and Jack. We're probably going to keep Mark and Jay, obviously. We're probably... It's tough, because the SATs were good. We're not going to use them on the Gate of Sanctuary and the rest of this tour, well, no, we probably should. But I think we're going to try and bring in Red for the Jid next. Also, we'll probably be involved in the Triangle Gate as well to bring back Alex Shelley. So, there'll be a lot of international talent for that to kind of think ahead. But thank you all for watching. Again, very, very much want to send out an apology to how long this took. Not my intention at all. It's been a crazy month and a half. It's been very, very hectic scheduling-wise. But I think it's going to slow down in September, maybe even late August. I'm hoping that'll be the case to when we can get kind of things back on track. I still got a lot of plans of what I want to do in TW9. That's not just, obviously, this Dragon Gate save. I've had series that I've been working on for literally, one of them I started working on it during COVID. Shows how long that's been. And another one a little bit later than that. Or earlier than that, actually. Well, actually, technically, now that the initial idea was later on, and it's been kind of, the plan has been put into motion a little sooner, I would say, than the other one. But because the one during COVID, I was actually going to do that in TW20, that save, and then it was like, well, then obviously, and TW9 came out, and it just, timing wasn't right. Now, the premise of that, it's a little bit more of a more talking point now because of somebody, but we'll see. We'll see. As far as once it really comes down to the scheduling and making sure that if I can do it, I'm doing it the right way. Also, want to get back to the fucking territories. I've been itching. Get back to that. It's just been tough because it's either do we transfer the TW20 save over, or do we just start all over with the TW9 save and we just move it to where it's in, that whenever, I forget what month we were in. I think we were in either March or April. But yeah, a lot of things going on. A lot of shuffling going on of what we want to do. But just hang in there. That's all I can say. Hang in there. The plans are going to be there. We're rolling right along now with Dragon Gate. We're back in the saddle again, so that's been great to see. And but wanting to do more TW9 stuff, because right now the Seaverse save has been fun, and I've been wanting to keep doing that, even though not a lot of people like the Seaverse stuff compared obviously to the real world stuff. But I think it might be time to maybe pull the plug on it. Who knows? I've been still having fun, so been letting it go. Really, a lot of my time has been taken up by the college football game, the new game, because the new game has been a lot of fun. Actually, it's been an improvement to a lot of things that I kind of complained about with the first installment of this new run of games, and we did a little bit of it. Like, I want to do a lot more with that series when we did the Pony Express with SMU, which then SMU ended up being a college playoff team. So good on them. But I've been wanting to do like a team builder save, or I guess series, where I make a bunch of like team builders teams, and they all got kind of goofy names and colleges, and you just kind of see what happens between all that chaos. Obviously, a promotion and relegation save has been something I've been wanting to do as well, because that's just so much fun. I've been doing that on my free time. With Delaware, we've moved up like 3 or 4 conferences. I was an offensive coordinator for Delaware. I'm still doing that as far as in my personal time. But yeah, that's been, and also I have a dynasty with my friends. We are now in the 2030s. That shows you how long we have been playing that and how much we've been playing that. That has been taking a good bit of my time. So if you want to blame somebody, you can blame my friends in college football. I would probably say that's a good bit of... But I've rambled on now. Thank you all for watching. Sorry again for all the delays. We're going to try and get this schedule back under control. And we'll catch you guys next time for the Gator Sanctuary. Take care, everyone.